What's going on, guys? Liam here, and today we're going over my predictions, tips and punts for round 9 of the 2023 NRL season. And oh my god, we just finished having footy yesterday. No teamless video today, obviously, because yesterday should have been teamless Tuesday, but obviously with the Anzac round it's a little bit delayed, and now we've got predictions and footy again tomorrow. How good. So I've had a massive day, so I'm going to need one of these bad boys before we get into it. Not sponsored by Monster, just addicted. Let's get this thing done. Alright, we've got some crackers this weekend. It should be a really good one. There's a lot of desperate teams, a lot of teams that have been underperforming that don't lose touch with the 8 and stuff like that, and a lot of teams that are going to want to hang on to their spots in the 8. So this is now when the big dogs should start to sort of push up. If we have a look at the ladder now, obviously we've got, some of the big dogs are starting to push their way up into this sort of top spot now, and then we've got some of these other guys here struggling. So let's go through these games quickly individually first to see who's playing, and I'll go through briefly ins and outs. Normally I do a Team List Tuesday video. We'll go over those during as well. So this video might be a little longer, but I'll try and keep it short for you guys. No one needs to hear about footy for 3 hours. This is we'll get this done faster than that, trust me. All right, let's go. So we got the Sharkies versus Cowboys tomorrow night. What a cracker game this should be. Absolutely cannot wait for that one. Parramatta Knights. This is actually a pretty interesting game. Knights Eels underperforming, and Knights, I guess you could say they had been overperforming maybe. So really good one there. I've got a lot of thoughts on this one actually. Top 4 clash. We've got Broncos versus the Rabbitohs. Raiders versus the Dolphins on Saturday. That's actually my 100k bet this week. Sea Eagles Titans. Oh, I can't wait to see the team list here, see if Turbo's named. Panthers, poor old West Tigers, ouch. Warriors Roosters on the Sunday. That should be a good game too. In New Zealand, hell yeah, damn. That should be a real good game. And then we have Dragons versus Bulldogs, some of the cellar dwellers there, so a bit of a rubbish game on the Sunday. But if you go for either one of these teams, it's actually a good game, because a loss here and I think you're done for both teams. You're probably going to start losing touch of that 8 if you lose one of these games. So really, I honestly think this is probably must win for both of these guys. But anyway, and then Storm have the bye this week. So let's have a quick look at the ladder. We've got Broncos, Sea Eagles, Panthers, Rabbitohs, Sharks, Storm, Warriors, and the Dolphins rounding out the 8. And these teams pretty much from Knights 12th to 15th. I honestly think all these guys need to win this week. Otherwise, you're going to start, all these teams going to be up on 12 points and you're still on 6. It becomes very hard to come back. So, must win for... Knights down, I'd say, and I think everyone's put the red line through the West Tigers to make finals this year. But I'm still want you to win games. I'm not piling on the poor old West Tigers like most people are. So, all right, let's have a quick look at the team list for the Sharkies versus the Cowboys. So outs no one. Ben Hampton, Brandon Elliott. No notable ins here, so pretty much as is. Let's have a look at the team stats here, head to head, see how they're going. So Cowboys got them in September 22 and in July 22 the Sharkies got up. Form guide, win-win, loss-win. Sharkies current wins 4 of 7. Cowboys 3 of 8. This is must win for the Cowboys. I know last week was too, but this one, when you drop games early, these must win games start coming a lot earlier in the season than you'd like, unfortunately. But it's not must win, but it's like we really need to win this game. So we're not at must win yet, but we're damn close. Like the Cowboys don't want to be 3 and 9. That's 3 of 9, sorry. That's not good. That's not good at all. And 4 of 8, like you're with the bye, obviously, you almost, you're probably pushing they would be close to a top 4 spot, sort of thing. So, and that's where Sharkies obviously want to finish. To win the comp, you really have to finish in the top 4. So it's very important that for the Sharkies to finish up in there. Average points scored, average 27 to 17. Average points conceded, 21 to 21. So that's pretty poor for a team with a winning record. So they're definitely got to obviously working on the defense a little bit there. And I dare say they would have tightened that up this week, and hopefully they have. Key wins at this venue. So Sharkies obviously got a pretty good record at Shark Park, and the Cowboys do not. So I've actually gone the Sharkies here in my tips, and also I've put them in my 100k challenge. If you don't know what that is, you can follow it on my TikTok. Actually, I put it on my shorts on here too, but put $1,000 down with a multi, making about $2. If it wins, I put 2k down, 4k down, 8k down, and continue on until I get to 100k. So I've tipped the Sharkies in this one here, and hopefully they can get the dub, sort of thing. So I think just Cowboys just look off to me, man. Like I've said it before, I'll say it again. And even with some teams that are struggling, you can sort of see how they're struggling. I can't quite put my finger on why the Cowboys have been so much worse than last year, other than I had a look at their team list and I looked at everyone. I went through every single player, right? And I was like, which players are playing worse than they did last year? And I was like, well, Drinky is. Well, Felt is. Holmes, I don't think is. Hiku's playing worse than last year. Taulungi's playing worse. Every single player is personally playing worse than they did last year. And I really do think it's affecting them. But I don't know. I actually thought they might have been a bit overworked. Because I heard, got a few friends up that way, and apparently last year they got hammered in their preseason, like way worse than they'd ever have before. And I actually had them slipping down towards the end of the season last year because they were so overworked. They didn't, but maybe they are suffering from that little bit of fatigue. It was obviously a shorter off season and stuff like that as well with the World Cup. So maybe they are struggling a little bit there, but we'll have to wait and see. But they look. I was sort of waiting for them to come good, and they're just not. They're just not. Even in their wins, they just haven't looked great, sort of thing. So, Knights, Eels. Parramatta Stadium, Combank Stadium, sorry. Knights had looked really good. But I mean, Breven Campbell-Gillard's out. I don't care what anyone says. He doesn't get the raps he deserves. He's been a top 5 prop this year. You know what I mean? I'm not saying he's the best, but he's been running hard. He's been tackling hard. He's been playing monster minutes, and just when they need a big tackle, he's been stepping up. And we'll have to wait and see. So, and Regan Campbell-Gillard and Bailey Simonson out as well. No outs for the Knights, as listed last week. So obviously you have Kalen Ponga and everything back. And who comes in? Hayes Dunster comes in for Bailey Simonson. So, I mean, look, on paper, Wiremu Greg comes in for Regan Campbell-Gillard. I was pretty impressed with him, man. I think he's way better than he was last year and the year before as like a backup sort of prop. I think he genuinely can start a game now. Not a top 10 prop or anything like that, but he's all right. I don't mind him at all. And so who's come in? So Nakatoa comes back in. So it's still a pretty solid team. All right, so Brass Cartwright back to the bench. Ryan Madison to an edge and Hopgood starting at lock. Okay, cool. I like this team a lot better. Obviously, if Campbell-Gillard was in, it would be nicer. But I like this forward rotation a lot better. I think Hopgood has to start. And Bryce Cartwright can come in and he can fill in anywhere, literally other than prop, pretty much, sort of thing. So I actually like this team a lot better. However, they are only carrying one prop on the bench. And he's not a big boy either. But Dory can play prop. He's a big boy. So pretty solid. And Lockie Miller. I mean, I love the dude, and he's an excitement machine. I love watching him play, but he's got a mistake in him. God damn it, he's got a mistake in him. So I expect a lot of traffic to be sent here. Well, a lot of high balls sent his way. All right, let's have a little looky. So last time they played was 39-2, and then 28-20. Form guide. Ouch. Loss. Penrith loss. Oh, that's right. I thought they won their, not last game, but the one before, but they should have won against Penrith. They were really good. So they've had a win, a draw, a win, loss. So even though it appeared they were doing well, then it's not amazing, sort of thing. Parramatta technically have more wins in the last 5 games, but both won 3 from 8. So, yeah, definitely And obviously got the draw in there, so that's why a little bit higher on the ladder. But yeah, this is a big game for both. I mean, I believe Parramatta are definitely down a peg from last year, but I still think they should clean up most teams that aren't top 6. You know what I mean? They really should beat the Knights. They should beat the Doggies. They should beat those sort of teams. They really should be knocking off these teams. And if they don't, then they're not going to make the 8 and they're going to be terrible. But I still believe they're that just not quite on par with the top teams yet. But we'll have to wait and see. All right, completion rates so 190. They're conceding as much as they're scoring. Knights are a little bit down. Completion rate, Parramatta usually completes. This is the thing, Parramatta normally completes a little higher than this, and they normally offload more. So they're offloading less and they're dropping the ball more. So 75% is not horrible, but this should definitely, you want to complete at 80%. That's for damn sure. Tackle efficiency way down for Parramatta. They've got to get that up. I watched, was it Hodgson, then number 9? I damn near think I watched him miss about 4 tackles in a row last weekend. His defensive intensity is great, but when he's fatigued, his defense is awful. It's awful. Wins at this venue, 62%. So very good strike rate for Parramatta, 41%. I haven't said who's going to be winning. Oh yeah, I did. I tipped the Sharkies, and wins overall 49%, 44%. All right, so I'm gonna go Parramatta here to get the dub. Not overly confidently, but I think Parramatta need a win. I mean, they did it against the Doggies, but it didn't really give it. It wasn't that win. You can't really count it as that breakthrough win because Doggies were so down on troops, sort of thing. So I think they have to win this one, like a good hard fought, 30 to 6, and you know what I mean. And the Knights never had a shot, sort of thing. So I'll go Eels here. Go Eels. Go Eels. All right, Broncos versus Rabbitohs. We've got some ins and outs here, guys. What a game this is going to be. It's in Brisbane. Should I go? A lot of ins and a lot of outs for a lot of teams. So who we got? Blake Taft. Oh, Totola's back in. Ooh. All right, ins. So no actual players in. All right, so Jesse Arthurs comes back in for Corey Oates. Jeez, it was an expensive win last week for them. Ezra Mann out, and who's replacing him? We've gone to her. Jock Madden. I didn't know he was in their rotation. And Payne Haas, who's coming up for him, I guess will just be. Oh, Keenan Palacia. Okay. So I guess they want to keep Tapau and stuff like that as impact players. Jed Cartwright. So I haven't pre-scripted any of this and who I'm going to tip. So I'm literally deciding who I'm going to tip on the spot, and that's because I had a lot of stuff to do today. And I'm obviously working, doing a lot of usually have a day or two to process the team list and all that sort of stuff. So, but having said that, I'm actually way better at tipping when I don't overanalyze, sort of thing. I'm telling you now, if you overthink your tips for the NRL, you can get a lot wrong. I see people like, oh geez, there's going to be a warm breeze up there. I don't know if Parramatta can beat North Queensland if there's a warm breeze around. I'm telling you now, man, the better whoever. 70% of the time, the best team wins. 29% of the time, the team that plays better on the day wins. And I know that sort of doesn't make sense, but it does in my head. The team that plays better wins. It's just the way it is. It's very rare. The weather, the wind, the ground, all that sort of stuff plays a part. It does, but it's not like, the team that plays better football wins the game. You can definitely overanalyze for sure. I don't think I said that quite correctly, but I know what I mean in my head. All right, so don't think I'm crazy here, guys. All right, so plenty of outs here, guys. I reckon Totola is huge in for them just because he really does shore up their middle. Jack Arrow, Cheekham. Let's have a look at the team stats before I make my decision. Alright, so Broncos won the last 2 times they played, eh? One each. So win, loss, win, loss, win. So Rabbitohs in a bit of form here. 7 from 8. 5 from 8. Points conceded. Points scored, 184 to 132, 228. Damn, Broncos are way out ahead, aren't they? Completion rates, not great from either team. Average points scored 28, average points scored 23, average points conceded 26 to 16. Average play the ball speed, this will get faster. You know what, Latrell's playing so good. I'm gonna go to the Bunnies here. I'm tipping they're favourites. Damn. Team on top that's only dropped 1 game at home is underdog. Yeah, okay. There you go. There you have it. But this is just going to be a cracking game, and those odds are about right. Like, this is a coin toss. It really is. This is a coin toss, this game. All right, Raiders Dolphins. So this is the second game I've put into my 100k challenge. So I've actually put $2,000 down on the Raiders to beat the Dolphins. Week off, they've come off the bye. Xavier Savage is named he's not named in the team, like he's named as a reserve, but I have a feeling he's going to play. And we'll have to wait and see what actually happens there. Rapana back, Jack Whiten back, Fogarty back, not back, but back from the bye. And I just like this team better. Canberra at home's a different beast. I love what their bench is doing. I mean, I've been just stunned at how good the Dolphins have been, but these two teams played each other last time, and Canberra was so much better than them in that game. But there was a terrible call. I don't like to blame the rest, but there was a terrible call where Tommy Gilbert literally shoved someone, then scored a try, which shouldn't have been a try, should have been a penalty. And then it was just some terrible decision making from Jackie White, and just kept kicking the ball to the wrong spots and stuff like that, and just kicking the ball straight to Hammer. And stuff like that, but I don't think he'll make that mistake again. He's obviously re-signed, all that sort of stuff. So I think the Raiders are going to get this one here. I think they need another win. I think Jack's going to want to really represent the Green Machine and go out on a high. To be honest, I don't think he's the sort of guy that's going to go into his shell and be like, oh well, I'm going somewhere else next year. I'm going to pack it in. All right, so Raiders really in that pack. They're in that pack I was talking about. They really I mean, they're a little bit above it, but they still really, really need a win. They don't want to drop. They definitely want to stay in and around that 8, and they should be able to. Let's have a look. So if they win here, they'll be on the same points as the Dolphins, but they've got a worse for and against, so they can't jump the Dolphins there, but they'll definitely jump a team or two if they win. Completion rates. This is why the Dolphins are going so good. Like I said, you want to be in that 80%. Yeah, they're not a great team, but they're coached well, obviously. But you complete it over 80%, you're probably going to win games. So they're definitely going to have to be better than this to win. Tackle efficiency 87. Average points scored 17. Average points conceded. That's not good. Look, how fun is this? They've got a winning record. They've got a winning record. They're in the top 8, and they've conceded more points than their bloody what? This is a weird game sometimes, man. So that's why I say sometimes stats lie. Sometimes stats lie, man. I'm telling you. It's really not a bad play the ball speed. This is going to have to be quicker from Canberra as well. Key stats wins at this venue. Obviously, these stats don't mean too much this time. Obviously, a lot of the team stats with the Dolphins don't make a huge amount of sense being such a new team. But yeah, I'm gonna go the Green Machine to lock this one in. I think they would have learnt. They know how to beat this team. Even though they lost last time, they saw what they did wrong. They can go have a look at the tape and get the dub. Seagulls Knights. All right, let's have a look. Is Tom Trbojevic named? Okay, he's named. So obviously he was a bit 50-50, and he's absolutely been named. Brad Parker out and Schuster out. Thank God. Schuster is killing me, man. I think Cooper Johns is a much better fit. I honestly, Schuster has to come back as a lock. Aloye can play anywhere. You can put him on the bench. He can come as an impact. You can give Schuster a break if you want. Schuster's not a 6. He looked so stiff and awkward last week. And like Andrew John says it every time. Oh, this is going to be Schuster's breakout year at 6. He's so big. We've never seen someone so big at the 6. Yeah, it's because it doesn't work. You don't want to be a big 6. You want to be a fast, agile, nimble, handy. I mean, all the best. You can have bigger. Like, I don't think you want to go bigger than Brad Fittler. Brad Fittler is about as big as you want a 6. You don't want them huge. It doesn't make sense. There's a reason why every single successful 6 in the game has been a relatively small guy. Darren Lockyer, Thurston when he played there, all these sort of guys. You don't want them, Cam Munster now, it's just, you don't want them big. You want them agile, slick, anyway, I don't get it. It's killing me. But I actually like this team better with Cooper Johns in at 6. Who else was out again? Brad Parker. Ruben Garrett goes into the centres. Jeez, it's still a pretty stacked out. And Tupanua comes in. Okay, cool. I'll tell you, I had a little bit of a thought. AJ Brimson reminds me a little bit of Clint Gutherson. Obviously, no one here is good yet, but there's a bit of Clint about him. Like, I've always said this about Clint Gutherson. He's not the best at anything. He's just good at everything. He backs up. He makes cover tackles. He'll stop you one-on-one. If there's a bit of space, he'll jank around. He'll pressure in around the but he's not top 5 at anything. But when you put the whole package together, you got a pretty good fullback. And I think Brimson gets a couple of errors out of his game. I think he can really. If I was Brimson, I wouldn't be looking at Turbo and Latrell and all this as trying to be like them. Like, he's never going to be one of them. But if he watches Gutho and studies Gutho, I'm telling you, this guy, he could be a little Prince Gutho. I'm telling you. And, I love watching this Pereira kid play too. But, man, it's going to be a good game. Just because Turbo's back, guys, I'm going to tip the Sea Eagles here. But they could... it's in Manly, though. I'm telling you, they could lose this game. I'm telling you, they were awful last weekend. They were awful. They were so bad, but so are Titans. So we'll have to wait and see. Jesus Christ. August last year, 44-20. Oh, that's after the Pride round thing and all that. I see the scoreline being more like this, to be honest. I think they'll definitely leak a few tries, but hopefully they can just score a few more than they leak. Win-win, loss-loss. Titans, unfortunately, started pretty promisingly this year, but it's not looking great all of a sudden, back out to 10th. So they're really going to want to win this game to, stay in and around that fight for the 8. Definitely don't want to be, because you can drop a game and, you can get gapped, and then all these teams sort of win games and stuff, and all of a sudden you're like, Jesus, we're 7th last week, now we're 13th, so it can happen fast. So let's have a look. 161 to 149. 162 to 189. Jesus Christ, they conceded some points. All right, so we've got completion rate 77, so not horrible from either team, but tackle efficiency, that needs to tidy up if they're going to want to win. Both got very similar play the ball speeds, average points so 20. Blows my mind, eh? They're coming second, and they're averaging 2 more points in their wins, points scored to points conceded. Wow, it's mind-blowing. 23 to 27. So, yeah, there could be some points here, guys. Definitely could be some points here. Wins at this venue, 61%, so pretty good strike rate. So, yeah, I'm gonna go Manly here. But, like, in a high scorer, I reckon. Bit of a high-scoring game, this one. All right. Oh, man. Poor old Tigers. Tago out, but he has been awful last 2. Actually, he's been pretty good. He makes up for. He's had a few shocking errors, sort of thing. But he's always good for a carry and stuff like that. But good to see Peachy back. Love that big cheesy grin, man. Good to see him in the first grade having a crack. So hopefully he does well, man. He's magic. He's magic. It's just Taruba. Taruba's playing, but looking. So we're still. Still got Eisenhoof in here. I wonder how far away Fisher Harris is, because they're definitely missing him a little bit. Charlie Staines out. Jesus Christ, this is going to be a drumming. Wow, the last time they played it was 16-18. What was that game? They haven't given them hidings. Well, I guess you'd sort of call that a hiding, but yeah, we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, 0 from 7, 0% wins this year. 4 from 7, 57% win rate. Not great for the high standards of the mighty Penrith Panthers, but look at that. 175 points scored to 99 points conceded in 4 wins and 3 losses. Jesus Christ. They're so good. I don't think they're close to hitting their stride yet. Points scored, 106 to 182, yeah. Completion rate, 80%. 72% for the Tigers. Average points scored, 15. Average points conceded, 26. Average points scored, 25. Average points conceded, 14. Geez, that'd have to be the lowest, wouldn't it? Average points conceded, 14. Quick play the balls. Wins at this venue, 62%. Alright, yeah. Don't have to be a rocket scientist here to guess where I'm going. We'll go on the mighty Penny Panthers there. Ooh. Cannot wait for this one. Actually, let me have a look at these team lists. Alright, so who's out? Kustar's out. Damn it. Tavanga's out. Oh. I genuinely think the Warriors would have won this game if these three were healthy. Daniel Tupou out. What happened to him again? Corey Allen comes in. Momorowski's still there. Then keeping Joey Manu at 6. Okay. Dylan Walker. Jeez, lots. I want to put Latelli back here. Watelli. I've always been saying Latelli. Watelli. Jeez, I'm terrible at pronouncing names, and I always apologise to everyone for getting them so wrong. But forward pack's still solid. Fanua Blake was brilliant. Oh, Wade Egan's back. Massive. Bunty into the starting. Jeez, still a great forward pack. Jeez, what a clash. It's going to be Fanua Blake versus Hargraves. Wade Egan versus Brandon Smith. Bunty versus Collins. Jackson Ford versus Egan Butcher. Nakora versus Nat Butcher. Where's... Don't tell me Angus Crichton's out already. Where's Angus Crichton? Oh, he's starting on the bench this time. Probably better. Jesus Christ. This is tough, man. Let's have a look at these team stats before I make a decision. Honestly, man, I'd be picking the Warriors. I've not been impressed with the Roosters at all, eh? Alright, so 20 to 12, 22 to 14. Loss, win, win. I honestly think the Warriors can win this, eh? 5 from 8. 4 from 7. Total points conceded. Jeez, they conceded a lot of points. Completion rate, 82%, 76. I'm going to go the Roosters. I think it might be a closer game than I think, and I would not be surprised if Warriors win this. If they had Tohu Harris and just Kustard in, even if they lost Tavanga, I'd probably be tipping them. But that just little bit of fullback inexperience, it's just putting me off a little bit. So I'm going to tip Roosters, but I think it might be a real close game, and I would not be shocked at all if the Warriors win. I would not be betting on this game. Hell no. Am I betting on that game? But it should be a good one anyway. Dragons Bulldogs. Alright. The two cellar dwellers. Man, I was so disappointed with the Dragons' first half last week, but the second half was pretty good. They come good. Paul Alamotti versus Lomax. Sully versus Avarillo. Tau Moga's out, unfortunately. Anyone break? Braylon Burns. Alright, so Michael Molo's in. Moses Zembai. I really like Jack Bird. I had a real big win last week. It was Jack Bird and Victor Radley to score. It's $34 and 50 on it. Made 1,700. It was great. Forward pack's alright. You know what? Actually, let me have a look at the team stats before I blurt that what I was about to say out. 24-34, 20. Jesus Christ. Both teams desperate for a win. Both teams has been sucking lately. 2 from 7, 3 from 8. 154 scored, 177 conceded for the Dragons. Jesus Christ, they've conceded 208 points and scored 127. Jesus Christ. Points scored average 22 to 25. Points scored 15 to 26. Yeah, I'll go the Dragons here. I think they'll be a little bit too classy in the end. Bulldogs, unfortunately, super disappointing this year. Not them necessarily, just injuries and all that sort of stuff. It's a bit of a shame sort of thing. But even then, I think they still wouldn't be doing a huge... Let's just say Kickow was fit. I don't think he would be able to help them out a whole heap. It's been a little average from them. Their middles were so soft last week. They were averaging about 29 metres a set last week. It was really, really bad. So anyway. All right, let's run through these all at the end. So we're going Sharkies, we're going Para, we're going Bunnies, we're going Raiders, we're going Seagulls, we're going Panthers, we're going Roosters, and we're going St George, and we're going Melbourne to take out the bye. Don't want to blabber on any longer, guys. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.